So you're a Florida homeowner, and you're dreaming of that perfect screen enclosure, right? Well, you absolutely need to know this. Building one without a permit can turn into a really costly and honestly, a heartbreaking mistake. Okay, let's dive into exactly why that is and, way more importantly, how you can avoid a ton of trouble.
Just picture this for a second. You've just spent thousands of dollars to create your perfect little backyard oasis. You're so excited. And then you get an official notice from the city telling you the whole thing has to be torn down. And no, this isn't just some crazy worst-case scenario. It's a very, very real risk for unpermitted work here in Florida.
So why is this one piece of paper so important? I mean, it's not just about bureaucratic red tape, I promise. Think of a permit as your first and most critical line of defense. It's there to protect you, your family, and the huge investment you've already made in your home.
Okay, so what is a permit really? Well, it's basically the official green light from your local authorities. It's a document that certifies that the plans for your enclosure meet all those crucial safety standards, especially for things like hurricane resistance, and that it follows all the local zoning laws. And here's the key. This isn't optional. It is a non-negotiable legal requirement.
To put it as bluntly as possible, skipping a permit is illegal. Your local city or county doesn't just see it as a minor oops or an oversight. No, they treat unpermitted work as illegal construction. And that little classification, well, that's what opens the door to some pretty serious consequences.
So here's the most important thing to remember. A permit is your legal safety net. It's what protects your investment, your safety, and your home's value down the road. It's that official stamp of approval that says, hey, this project was done right, and that gives you total peace of mind.
But what happens if you decide to, just go for it without that safety net? Let's get into what I call the cascade of risks. You're going to see how one bad decision can really spiral into a whole series of expensive, frustrating problems.
So, right off the bat, you're looking at some direct financial hits. We're talking about municipal fines that can start piling up daily, and they can quickly run into thousands and thousands of dollars. And beyond that, you're opening yourself up to potential lawsuits and even penalties for the contractor who did the work. It gets messy fast.
Now, here's the one that's truly terrifying. The ultimate risk is a demolition order. Yes, you heard that right. Local authorities have the absolute power to make you tear the entire structure down completely at your own expense. And the real kicker? The cost of that demolition, plus trying to get a permit after the fact, almost always costs way more than just getting the permit correctly in the first place. It literally turns a dream project into a financial nightmare.
And it doesn't stop with the fines. There are all these hidden dangers just lurking under the surface. For example, if a storm damages your unpermitted enclosure, your insurance company can, and they probably will, deny the claim. Or if someone gets hurt in it, your liability as the homeowner just skyrockets. And you can bet it's going to create major headaches during a future property inspection if you ever try to sell your home.
And all of this brings us to the long-term gain. See, this isn't just about avoiding a fine today. This is really about protecting one of your biggest assets, your home, for years to come. Let's take a quick look at how permits play a really key role in your property's value.
An unpermitted structure is just a massive red flag for potential buyers and, maybe more importantly, for their mortgage lenders. It can directly lower your home's resale value, or it could even kill a deal entirely. And on top of all that, it can void the warranties on the construction materials, leaving you totally on your own if something fails down the line. And this is a perfect real-world example of the headache it can cause. So in this case from Orlando, a home sale was completely held up just because of an unpermitted pool cage. The seller ended up being stuck with the bill and all the hassle of trying to fix it. It delayed the closing and almost certainly took a big bite out of their profit. And believe me, this happens way more often than you'd think.
Okay, we've seen all the risks, and they're pretty significant. But now, let's talk about the solution. The good news is there is a simple, crystal clear rule you can follow to make sure your project is built with confidence and is 100% legal.
So what is the absolute best way to protect yourself and your investment? I mean, how can you easily spot a professional, trustworthy contractor who takes these rules just as seriously as you do?
It's this simple mantra right here. No permit equals no installation. That's it. This is the gold standard. This is the non-negotiable rule that separates the reputable pros from the risky operators. So what does this actually mean in practice? It means that a trustworthy company will never, ever start the physical work. I'm talking no digging, no assembly, nothing until that permit is officially approved and issued by the city or county. They treat it as the strict legal requirement it is, which is your best guarantee of a job done right.
All right, let's just quickly recap the crucial points here. First, those fines and legal actions, they are a very real risk. Second, demolition orders, yep, they can and do happen. Third, you're exposing yourself to huge liability and insurance problems. Fourth, you could seriously hurt your property's value. And finally, the solution. Always live by that no permit equals no installation rule.
You know, building your dream enclosure should be an exciting process, not a stressful one. So if you're ready to do it the right way, but you're not totally sure where to start, professional teams like Screen Factory Florida are there to help guide you through the whole permitting and building process.
At the end of the day, your screen enclosure is an investment in that incredible Florida lifestyle we all love. By making sure your project starts safely and legally with the proper permit in hand, you ensure that your investment is protected and that you can enjoy it for many, many years to come.